All right, so this year's hunting season was a fun one. I had some major changes going on. For me, a lot of people aren't aware, but I did 23 years of law enforcement. And in those 23 years, I also started up a little small leather shop and a leather business. And that leather business really took off for me this year. I got to the point where it was too hard to juggle both. I decided to make the transition from law enforcement to doing my small business full time. Plus and minuses to both. The plus of doing 23 years law enforcement is that I had a lot of vacation built up. And I was able to take these long blocks during my rut vacation, is what I always called it. Now, working in the private sector, if I don't work, I don't get paid. I don't have vacation anymore. So I really had to pick and choose when I could get in the woods and when I needed to stay in a shop or running long nights in the shop to make up for time being in the woods. So my season started off pretty slow, and that's okay. I knew that the rut was around the corner, and when the rut started to kick in, obviously it started to pick up. All right, set up this morning, hunting a spot that I call the Cut Across Road. I've been getting a ton of trail cam photos of a giant 10, big giant for me, good mature buck. He just keeps working his road. Thermals, everything was just spot on for today. Get set up, I hear barking all morning long. And I assumed it was somebody's dogs chasing deer, and that's exactly what it was. I had a buck come running through. I couldn't film it because he come through so fast, mouth wide open. I could actually hear him breathing before I could see the buck. He was just exhausted. He's followed by two of these little yipper dogs chasing behind him. They went off, they went around. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are hunting in a little different section of the farm. They had the dogs over by them blowing deer out. So I don't know who's, we tried calling a person that we thought dogs had already ain't there, so. All right, so just shot a really nice buck. My knee-jerk reaction was that he was solid gut shot. That shot was back. And in my head, when I got him to bleed to get him to stop, I was going to take the shot. He starts walking, I bleed again. In my head, I thought he stopped. And I shot. And when I replayed the video footage, he wasn't stopped. It's funny, under high stress, the cameras tell the truth, but your head sees something different. So that shot looked back. He come in down a logging road, and I had a problem with my release. I don't know what was going on. It wouldn't stay hooked to the string. So it took about 2-3 tries, and he got through my shooting lane, or where the camera was set up for him to be at. Under the stress, I didn't even realize he went through that lane. I didn't move the camera because I thought my camera was on the other lane. But thank goodness I got the 360 camera above me going. He comes into the second shooting lane. That's where I come to full draw. I give him that bleed to get him to stop. He stops. I'm settling the pin. He starts walking again. And that's one thing, they're in a rut like this. They are covering ground, and it is fast. Self-filming is very difficult when they move through that quick. But anyway, I got the shot off. Shot looked, like I said, my knee-jerk reaction, shot was back. It's in a gut. So I'm thinking, well, we're not even tracking until tomorrow. He runs up the ridge, and I can't see him anymore. And about 5 minutes goes by tops, and I hear loud crashing. I mean, it sounds like somebody's stuck in a brush pile. About 30 seconds of silence. I hear a little bit more crashing, and then silence again. And I haven't heard anything since. It's been about an hour. I didn't see anything running. Maybe I caught the back of the lungs and he went down. I'm praying I could be that lucky. But it definitely did not sound like a deer just moving through thick stuff. I mean, it sounded like a buck crashing and going down. My fingers are crossed. I'll take luck over good any day of the week. Hopefully I'm lucky. Not proud of that shot, but I'm hoping it works. Hopefully this outcome works the way it's supposed to. We are walking out. Got down, sat for about 2 hours after the shot just to give it time. Heard that loud crashing. Boy, I feel pretty good that was him actually going down. Just wanted to play it safe though, because to me, the shot looked back. Got my arrow. Arrow is coated in blood. It definitely is like a brighter red blood, but he's spraying pretty good. I tracked him for just a little bit, and it's a pretty decent blood trail to just start off with. And then top that off with that loud crashing, I feel pretty good about it. So I'm gonna gear down. I still want to give it a little bit yet, just because I'm not seeing that classic double long. We're gonna gear down. We're gonna give him just a little bit here, just to be safe, and then we'll go from there. I'll keep you posted. Geared down. Oh, got some water. Got to lighten up my equipment. Figured I'm gonna give him time anyway. It's been about 3 hours now from time of shot, so hiking back up these ridges out in the Driftless region of southwest Wisconsin, and some of these guys can be pretty steep. This one's in that pretty steep valley or steep range. So anyway, the game plan is I'm gonna go in, pick up where I last left off. From there, I'm gonna go to where I heard it crash. And if he's not in that area, then I'm gonna back out and give him way more time. If he's there, well, then we're gonna high five, take hero shots, and talk like we know what we're doing. But I'm gonna go slow. Once I get up there, I'll quiet way down. We're gonna go in stealth mode because I'm not guaranteeing he's dead. I think I heard him crash, but I think, not a no. So All right, so I got in. I literally got to about here, which is where I left off. 40 yards in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. I see the white belly. He's dead. I don't even need to try. How did I not see him last time I was here? Big buck down. He is in the brush pile. That explains why it sounded like, I was using an analogy to my buddies, that it sounded like he went down in a brush pile. Well, he went down in a brush pile. There is blood everywhere on this trail. Wow. Look at the blood spraying. He is literally fell into a brush pile. And there he is. Look at that rack. He's got a broochie too. Oh yeah. This is the club buck. That is who this guy is. All right, got him up the ridge a little bit. Absolutely, I'd rather be lucky than good. I'm gonna straight out tell you that that shot was way back on him, but I had to have caught the back lungs. He didn't go but 80 yards, and what I thought was him piling up in a brush pile was him in fact piling up in a brush pile. And that's how I described it to my buddies when I said I heard it. And here he is. I mean, he has a tank of a body on him, just a lot of mass. Not a lot of height to him or anything like that, but just a cool, gnarly buck. I mean, there's just tines everywhere. He's got some broken tines here. He's got a big broken G2 off of here. Just a cool buck, especially here in the hill country. I had to have caught the back half of the lungs because he didn't go a total of 80 yards, and he's down. So beautiful. Just a beautiful tank of a buck. Our bow season here in Wisconsin is just starting to wind down. Gun season starts next weekend. We got this big guy on the ground. He's not the biggest buck I've ever shot, but he's probably one of the cooler ones. Just the mass and the weird tines on him. I love it. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we hunt. We put on the grind all fall long to just be out in the woods and to enjoy this sport. So get out there, enjoy it. And from all of us, bow hunt or die.
Is it really that cold in here? Is that necessary?
Why you gotta judge? Why you gotta be a hater?
It just doesn't feel that cold in here that it requires a full-blown warm hat.
It was 5 degrees out this morning, so I put this on to keep my head warm.
All right,
I just haven't taken it off because it's comfy and cozy.
Okay, fair enough. I want you to be comfy and cozy because earlier this week we did have no heat in the office, which would have been more acceptable to have the hat on then. But now we have the heat fixed and Justin's got to wear a full-blown hat. You got long underwear on right now today too?
No.
A little cold out there this morning. You need the long underwear too?
My God.
Well, think about Kurt.
I'm just... Ben,
Kurt
I feel like you
little...
right now. I feel like you right now.
All right, we need to focus on what's
for no reason.
We're going to get to Ben slander in a minute here. It's poor trophy photo people. I don't know if it's their bad cameras or whatever, but right now let's focus on what's important, and that is Josh Ward and his CWD buck.
Oh, yes. So update. I feel like we should have like breaking news update. Josh's buck did test positive for chronic wasting disease, unfortunately. So that means that the DNR of Wisconsin has issued Josh another tag. So he can shoot another buck, and that tag is good for the remainder of this season or all of next year as well. So I guess next year he could kill 2 bucks.
Does anybody in this room know how that works for Josh? Is this because I'm just trying to think when I hunted in Wisconsin, it wasn't mandatory to get your deer tested. So is this something that he did above and beyond, which then resulted in them giving him the tag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a voluntary test. They ask everybody that's willing to submit for testing. So he did because he's in an area with a notoriously high prevalence of CWD.
Okay.
Deer was CWD positive. Obviously looked healthy and fine and like nothing was wrong with it until Josh shot it and killed it.
Then
it was dead. So, talking to Josh. So it's so interesting when I watched this hunt because there's so many parallels in conversations that I had with people after my hunt. Specifically, I guess let's back up before I even get to that. Josh focused a lot on he thought he made a bad shot, right? He was like, dude, that shot looked a little back. I think I gut shot him. Like, gosh dang it, I'm not even gonna look for this deer until tomorrow. Then all of a sudden, 2 minutes, 3 minutes goes by after he shoots the deer. So his first reaction is to look at the camera and be like, oh my goodness, I gut shot this deer, right?
We've all done that.
And then he stops recording the interview. All of a sudden, he just hears a ton of crashing and thrashing. And he's like, gosh, it sounds like a deer's going down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's 80, 100 yards away. And he's like, okay. So he waits a while. He gets down, finds the arrow. It doesn't have any gut smell to it. There's seemingly good blood. So he's like, okay, well, I'm still going to give it some time, and I'm going to sneak up there. And sure enough, he goes up there, and the deer only went like 80 yards and crashed. Blood was everywhere. Turns out he did catch the back of the lungs and the liver. So the shot was actually a lot better than he thought it was, which is very similar to what just happened with Kurt's deer the other day, right, which we're getting ready to see in a couple weeks. But, the main thing that I thought was interesting, where I drew a parallel in mine, is Josh is like, this deer's coming through. He tries to stop it. It doesn't stop. He bleats at it again, and then he shoots. And Josh was like, I would swear to you that deer stopped before I shot it. But when you watch the footage, the deer doesn't stop. Dude, mine was the exact same
I don't think
thing.
you stopped your deer.
No, I tried to. He didn't stop. But again,
I was surprised.
If I did not have footage of my deer, and somebody asked me, I would have bet my house that deer stopped when I shot it. Like, I'm telling you right
Can
now.
I make a suggestion?
I
right
went
here,
back
right now?
and
don't ever bet your house.
I know.
That's
but
a
I'm just
bad
saying,
idea. If
That's
you're
how
watching
sure
this-
I was that deer was stopped when I shot it. And then I went back and watched the footage, and I was like, why the hell did I shoot it when it wasn't stopped yet? Now, granted, it was slowing down to stop, and it wasn't a big deal. I think shooting a quote-unquote moving deer when it's very slow walking at 20 yards and under isn't as big of a deal as we sometimes make it out to be. But again, Josh was like, man, it's amazing how when you're like in those like quote-unquote high-stress situations and everything's happening fast, like what you think you see and what actually happened are so often two different things.
So when I was filming Kurt this past
the other night.
We got the 360 on, right? And I'm sitting there. I see the deer coming out, right? I don't want to give out the whole story, right? And dude, you know me. I have to have my glasses down like this to be able to see the screen, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Kurt, he's coming. Like, he's coming. And he looks at me. Ben, what's going on over here? We got to speed this up? I guess we're getting too long, guys. I guess people don't want to watch this part of it. So I guess I'm going to go quick after being yelled at by Ben. But I think this is kind of interesting. And it goes to your point. So he's trying to get his range faster. So he ranges once, 50-something, right? Ranges again. He wants to range one more time. He goes to range this time, and he's got the thing backwards, and he's using a rangefinder. He's got his vortex up, and he's like, it's not working. I thought it was pretty funny.
It's just so,
dude.
Well, what's crazy to me, and honestly, like, it's strange how my brain like drifts into these like other things. But I think about our situation, which is very not life or death, at least for us, right? Like,
being like a surgeon or something.
No, being somebody who's like in a life or death somehow crazy situation, where they're then called later on to testify, right? Or pick somebody out in a lineup, or like testify on what you saw happen when this person got shot or this car accident happened or whatever. And so, like, I know I can't even remember if the deer was walking or stopped when I shot it.
Wait till you get to 53 and start.
But
trying
I'm
to
just
remember
saying,
stuff.
like, my wife and I, because we're old, will watch like Dateline on Friday night or whatever, and they're always like going through these court cases and talking about witnesses and what people saw and how a lot of times, like, and they will swear to you that this is what they saw. Right. But it's like, well, the footage in our case says something different.
Yeah.
It is just very interesting how that happens. And I think that relates to a lot of the posts that you see online, whether it's Facebook groups or forums or anywhere else, where people are like, I swear I smoked this deer and I didn't find it, so the broadhead didn't open or didn't work. And it's like, dude, like, I'm telling you, man, we've been doing this a long time. We shot a lot of deer on camera, and often it's like what we think we saw in our mind and what happened in reality are two very different things. I just thought that was interesting for me to watch Josh's hunt because I had so many parallels in my own. So congrats to Josh. I mean, it was a nice buck. It was a cool buck, massive, like not a giant, but like cool mass, had that little acorn kind of thing on the end of one of its tines. Like just a cool deer and a good hunt. And I'm glad he made a much better shot than he originally thought. So good job, Josh. Next up, guys, let's jump into Ask the Experts, which basically just translates into Ask PJ Riley from Lancaster
We love
Archery.
PJ Riley. We love Lancaster Archery. It can't be too late to be ordering stuff from Lancaster Archery and still get it by the holiday
For
season.
Christmas? No,
Yeah,
dude, they're
heck
having
no.
all sorts of good Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday deals. Get some free
Ben,
gift
we got some hot
cards.
deals too on our site going right now. All right.
That we do. We have hot deals. So James Key asks, what FOC percentage do you use or advise for hunting arrows? And what are your recommendations for achieving a high FOC over 15%? I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on this, but we're going to default over to my guy PJ, and let's see what he says.
Hey guys, got a question today from a bow hunter who wants us to dive into the great FOC debate. So he's asking what my FOC is, what FOC I advise, and what recommendations I would have for getting to a high FOC. So FOC, what is that? Front of center. That's what it stands for. And what you're checking is what percentage of your overall arrow weight is in the front half of the arrow. How much of it is front of center? So that's what FOC stands for, and you know, there in the world of bow hunting, there's a debate going on now as to how much you need, should you pay attention to it. And so to answer this bow hunter's question about what FOC I have, I didn't know because I don't pay attention to FOC, but I did go calculate it just for this video, and I found out that I have 13.5% FOC. So what I've got here is Easton Axis 4mm match grade long range. I've got a 55 grain insert and a 100 grain broadhead up front. This is my hunting arrow here. That comes out to 13.5% FOC. Now what Easton, I'll stick with them, recommends for bow hunting as to what's ideal is 10 to 15%. So I'm in that sweet spot. That's why I say, when I say I don't pay attention to it, because with my specs, I'm gonna have sufficient FOC. Where I think FOC comes into play is for folks who maybe are shooting shorter arrows, lighter poundage, shorter draw lengths, things like that. That's where I think maybe they're gonna have to do things to get that FOC up into that 10 to 15. But for most of us, I think the arrow that you're building, what I pay attention to is I wanna be able to hit what I'm shooting at. I don't care what the FOC is. But again, that's because I'm gonna have sufficient FOC. That's how I approach it. Now, what to do to boost your FOC? Of course, there are brass inserts that you can put in there. There are weights that will screw into the back of certain inserts. You've got to research your components to get the right ones. You can go to heavier broadheads, 150, 175, 200 grains. All of that is gonna get your FOC, this bow hunter was saying, above 15%. You're really gonna have to bulk up that weight. But what I wanna stress is, if you do that, please pay attention to your arrow spine. All the charts that are out there, they're going off of either 100 or 125 grain point. Once you start boosting your FOC, you're weakening the spine of the arrow. So for me, if I got the front of my arrow to be like 200, 250 grain, this 300 spine arrow is gonna be too weak. So I would need to go up 250, maybe 200 spine. Just pay attention to that if you wanna boost that FOC. Personally, I don't pay attention to it. I wanna build the most accurate arrow. Justin and Todd, where do you guys stand on FOC?
Well, thank you to PJ and the folks at Lancaster Archery Supply for their expert answer. Here's what I'll tell you about FOC. It doesn't matter nearly as much as you want it to matter or that you think it matters. The vast majority of really successful bow hunters that I know, you can ask them what their FOC is and they have zero idea.
There's no
Nobody
way.
knows. And as long as you're shooting,
Most of the time, what are they doing? They're like, I got 2 extra weights.
the only thing that matters, in my opinion, total arrow weight, stick to 450 plus, and you're fine. That's really the only thing you need to worry about. FOC, overhyped, and everybody's over there with their little calculators trying to figure out what their FOC is, and it doesn't matter. Just shoot them in the right spot, and you'll be perfectly fine. Next up, trophy photos. Todd, are you ready?
Yeah, if you got a magnifying glass and somebody can print these.
Don't worry, Todd. I'll take it for you. You ready? Go for it. You start.
All right. I love picking on Ben. All right, let's go. We got Brent Castle from Manitoba, Canada.
All right. Next up, we got Chelsea Zarat from Michigan.
Hunter Stevens, Missouri.
We got Jake Washington here in Illinois.
And we've got Tom Ohlenberg from Wisconsin.
And last up, we've got Tyler Ballman from here in Illinois. Again, Tyler, congratulations. Got the boys out with you.
What do you mean again? What do you mean again?
Well, I
Did
got
he
two
submit one
Illinois.
earlier?
No, I got two
okay.
Illinois
All
back
right.
to back for me. Do you want me to pick the winner for this week, Todd, or are you going to do it since you can't see with your old man eyes and this bad print job we got today?
This is going to be very interesting to hear what you have to say, but I'm going to make one comment on Tom's buck. That is a great looking Wisconsin buck right there.
That's a giant. That deer's giant.
That
He's
is
got points everywhere. He's got mass. He's got
thick.
junk.
Dude.
It's great.
Love
It's a
that
great
buck.
deer.
Did you see that one, Ben? That's a nice
It's a
buck.
good photo. I like it.
No. Tough.
I'm going to pick the winner this week, and it's going to be Jake Washington from here in Illinois. He just did a little bit nicer job with the back legs. That's the difference between Tom and Tyler and
Okay.
Jake. That's really the only difference there.
But I'm telling
Good
you,
smile. The deer's got. It's hard to see, but I
we
think it's got
need
a
to
drop
find
tine
the
he's hanging on
footage
to.
to show people what has to be done with these back legs. It's hard. You got to really get behind
Dude,
those legs
I'll
when
tell
rigor
you,
mortis sticks
yeah.
in, and you got to work it. You got to find one of those fun videos where you see us working those legs.
My deer,
That's
the
secret.
night of, so we tracked him and then had to go all the way back to the truck to get our stuff and get the sled to get him out and all the way back. By the time we got back, dude, I'm telling you, Matt and I tried
It takes two people. sometimes.
everything in
You
our
didn't get it
power.
done. You couldn't get it.
We tried everything in our power. Now the next morning we got him. They
Yeah.
loosened up.
It's a weird. It's like it loosens up. It's like the weirdest thing.
But it was maybe an hour or two after I shot him, and dude, we couldn't get.
Brandon,
I
you
tried.
got to find.
I was
footage.
jumping up in the air, and they were like pushing me backwards. Dude, ask Matt. I was like falling over on the
Maybe
ground.
on the
trying to get
last
him.
buck that I got,
Then you
you'll
just-
see us working it on the 360. We got to
Yeah,
find this. So people
but the key
understand how
is
to
if you
do it.
can't get the legs bent and moved like that, then you just have to reframe the photo a little bit better.
Yeah.
You just got to get creative with your photo angle so you're not showing the back legs.
A lot of nice
That's
bucks
the
here,
only
though.
thing.
Congratulations, everybody.
There's a lot of dandies there. That one from Manitoba's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right on the river there.
All right, last but not least, we got a little
Jake.
trivia question. We want you to comment below.
We do?
Brandon said, where did the saying, geez Louise, come from? Geez Louise. Where did it come from?
I think
Geez
if I had to guess,
Now, don't guess. Don't ruin it. Let people.
I can't have my own guess. I don't know the
No,
answer.
then put it in the comments below. That's what I just said. Don't ruin it here. Put it in the comments.
I'm not ruining anything.
Put
I don't
it in
know
the
the
comments.
answer.
I don't want people to know. Put it in the comments. Hey, speaking of deer, real quick before we dive any further.
Okay.
Dude, this is getting kind of old with these two bucks back here. We're gonna have to get some new stuff. Where's your Kansas buck gonna go? You got to be running out of wall space. You got a big buck you want to bring back here and bring in here? Huh? You gotta have one. Maybe I'll bring one of my newer ones. We gotta change this up, man. These two bucks have been back here too long. Fair enough. Dude, you have to be. There's no way you got room for all those deer in your home. There's no way.
How many deer do you think I've shot? You might be overestimating
All right,
the number
well.
of mounts I have as compared to you. I'm just saying.
All right. We want to know where Geez Louise came from. What does it mean? Comment below. Justin's going to put his comments in there. And we got Kurt's hunt, big, but we got some good stuff coming up.
Yeah, we got Paul Morrison next week with two fine Wyoming bucks. One that he decoyed in. It was freaking awesome. Such a cool. The cool footage is so cool.
When's
You guys
Ben
are
going to
love
get
it.
on the board?
I don't know. You got it.
Ben Meister. How we looking over there? Not looking good. Late season. I mean, we got snow. You got
He
nothing.
tried.
happening?
Remember, he tried. An arrow flew. It just didn't hit its mark.
I know, but you're still. Are you still going to go after it?
Yeah, I mean, you got gun season this weekend again.
How about you?
TBD. I don't know. Kind of running out of steam a little bit here.
It happens.
I mean, dude, honestly, I've talked with a lot of people. Like, I have plenty of meat. I shot the biggest buck of my life. Like, I don't know, my desire right now is kind of just like, I want to get Jake a freaking deer.
Well, it sounds
the
like that's
only
the
really
main
thing I
goal
care
for you
about
right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm gonna make his little ass shoot a doe the next time we go out if one comes in front of us.
All right.
I don't. We are killing a deer together before the season ends. One where I
Yes.
will make an exception on a Sunday night
There
to
you
shoot a
heard it.
doe
All right.
if we get one in front of us. So yeah, Jake needs to kill something. Joey
All
killed
right.
one. I killed one. I need the trifecta. All the Czar men need to kill deer before this season
That
is
sounds
over.
like a good goal. Okay. There you have it. Until next time, guys, bow hunt or die, baby.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
Let's go. Make it quick, Graf. Don't talk. People don't want to listen to you talk.